So I want you to complete the square, right, on this. And this one's the easier of the two, and we'll do the harder one in a second. Okay? And we're choosing this one because we already did the factoring for it. So now I can see it you can see it in all three ways. You can see it in standard form, you can see it in factor form, and you'll see it in vertex form. And we'll just switch between them, right? So here's completing the square, okay? Whenever you do this, kind of the first step is to introduce like some square brackets and take this last term and basically just throw it away to the end of the question. You just ignore it. You don't need it till the very end. Okay? So I'm just going to be left with x squared plus 5x on the inside. Okay? And you know how there's some instances in which you cannot factor?
Mm-hmm.
There are no instances in which you cannot complete the square.
Okay.
There's always, like, you can always do this 100%. Okay? So, the next thing here is I have this magic, I call it a magic number because it's kind of cool, but I like to label it Z, right? And Z is always the B value divided by 2 squared. Okay? And then I do something with the B value in a sec. So we got to take 5 divided by 2. 5 divided by 2 squared, which is going to be 2.5 squared, which is 6.25 if I'm not mistaken. We'll check and make sure we're right. Okay. Whoa. 6.25. Okay. You okay with that?
Yeah.
So this is like kind of it's a magic number, and I'll show you why it's magic in a sec. Okay. Now, something interesting happens. Okay. So my Z value, I'm going to put it on the inside of the square brackets, and it's going to go x squared plus 5x, and then I'm going to add the Z value and subtract the Z value.
I remember this, yeah.
Okay. Now, nothing's changed because when I add and subtract something, they net out to 0.
Out.
Right. Good. So I'm going to add Z.
And then subtract Z. And then you move this minus Z and it goes to the outside A.
Okay, hold on. Leave it for a sec. Just give me a sec. I'll step you through it and then you can make conclusions. Okay. So what are we going to do?
You're going to take that minus Z or minus 6.25 and you're going to put it on the outside of the bracket.
After.
Yeah.
Minus 6.25. I'm going to do something on the inside first. Okay. So I've just added it and subtracted it. Now, I want you for a second, okay, as an exercise, I want you to find, and this is a little bit of a harder example, right? I want you to find two numbers that multiply to 6.25 and add to 5. So, by that I mean, let's look at the first three terms. Okay?
It's 2.5.
Yeah.
2.5.
I want you to look at the first three terms.
Uh-huh.
2.5 times 2.5 gives me 6.25,
Mm-hmm.
but they also add the 5.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, write it like this. You're going to take it, and you're going to go, okay, well, y is equal to x plus 2.5 times x plus 2.5, right? Minus 6.25 plus 6. Okay, and those are multiplied together, right? And then minus 6.25, because that's on the square bracket, or inside of it. And then plus 6 on the end, right? Now, how could I rewrite that? You already did it earlier. I'm just going to rewrite this line. I have 2x plus 2.5s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can write them x plus 2.5 squared. Right? Minus 6.25 plus 6.
Adds to B and it multiplies to...
Yeah, I'll show you the trick in a second. You won't actually even use that. Okay? This is why I call them, like you're going to see in a second why you see it's a magic number, okay? Both these do what? They combine to be
X
plus 2.5 squared. Now, I want you to see something special, okay? And then you don't need to worry about factoring ever again for these kind of questions when you're finding the maximum. Yeah? There's something special going on here. Do you see where I got the 2.5 from anywhere else on this page?
No. Yeah, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
As soon as you divide b by 2,
And
there's your
square.
2.5.
Oh.
Before you square it, you can automatically take the 2.5, right? You take the 2.5 and you can skip all of this work and throw it right there,
Okay.
right? Every time. You can skip you don't need to factor this. This is me showing you how this works, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can skip as soon as you get the z value divided by 2, like before you square it.
Oh, I see.
You throw it in there.
Yeah.
This is still left, right? Now you can finish the question. And these actually go really quickly when you realize that, right? Otherwise, it's just a bunch of nothingness, right? It's just busy work, right? And it's easy to get lost in it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to go, okay, well, now you can move this to the outside, okay? And normally, I'll show you another question in a second, but there's a 1 out front, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can distribute the 1 in and get rid of the square brackets. That's actually what's happening. You distribute the number that's out front, but because it's 1 this time, to get rid of the square brackets. So there's really just a 1 here, minus 6.25 plus 6, right? And your final answer is going to be x plus 2.5 squared minus
And that's vertex form.
That's vertex form now, right?
So
I can read the vertex. Vertex is negative 2.5 and negative 0.25. Right? And then you can apply that to any word problem. The process is the exact same. If it asks you about finding the maximum or minimum, the process is the exact same, and you interpret the answer based on what is on your x and y axes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that.